It's Silas, the marvelous producer.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar, the very last episode for the dying 2021. You know, bye bye 2021, you're gone. Thank you for coming through.
Why do you have to add dying to the conversation?
It's actually dying, and we will never see it again. It's dying. 2021 is dying and it's not going to come back. So once again, it's welcome to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers. Special episode of the Boom Bar. Hanging out with me at the bar today, from right to left, we've got Bob
Daddy.
Bob Daddy. Bob. We've got Bob Daddy, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we need you to speak into the microphone. You can swing it if you want. So that's me, Montin Jebang, aka Bob Daddy, aka Yomi Kuku. And of course, sitting next to Yomi is the biggest Man City fan in the whole of Nigeria.
Probably the only Man City fan
I'm
I
not the
know.
only one.
He's not the only one, no.
We have a
It's
group
not.
chat.
It's not. It's
You,
not.
what?
We have a group chat like 5 minutes.
They do.
See,
We are up to 100.
no, you see, Man City fans, show me one Man City fan that had never supported any club
Say
before Man
Arsenal,
City.
I'll be so angry.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Show me one Man City fan
They just
in Nigeria
No,
that
you
had
never.
never supported another club before supporting Man City.
But let's
Do you know any?
I don't know any.
Exactly.
He's a fraud.
A lot of them left.
Right here.
A lot of them are glory hunters, but
Because
it's fine.
Everybody's a glory hunter.
It's what you want.
supporting
Yeah.
Man U I'm there. not a
Yeah.
glory hunter.
No.
Exactly.
No.
I'm not a glory hunter.
You're not a glory hunter.
Right? Shubhomi?
No. Shwobi has always been a Liverpool fan.
You went
From the days of Steven Gerrard.
Okay. Yeah. So.
You've been suffering.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so of course you are listening to us on boomradio.com.ng. We are also streaming live on YouTube. That's Boom Radio NG on YouTube. We are streaming on Facebook as we speak. It's Boom Bedu on Facebook, and we're streaming on Instagram. Shola Rogers. Just search for SOLAROGERS, and of course you can be a part of this. We'll be taking your comments and everything that you want to say. And next to Bill, but definitely getting a bottle of tonic water from him. You just passed it like Kevin De Bruyne, you know. That was a that was a precise pass,
Of course.
and
Of course.
he has picked it up like Mo Salah. He's picked it up like Mo Salah. You know. So of course, next to him is Shubhomi, and next to Shubhomi is
The one and only.
the one and only.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Because if you don't want trouble, just don't mix that. Don't make a mistake with that name.
You're not going to say the last word. That's
Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys one thing that happens that Dolupo probably doesn't know. There are a couple of older friends who have been here, and age mates of mine who have been here too, who when they want to remember, they say, "I was don't tell her, don't let her know. Wait, Dolapo, Dola." I said, Dolupo. I said, okay. Greet her. This person I'm talking about is 60 something years old, but the man is terrified. He's like, he doesn't want to get into trouble. You know. So of course, at the Boom Bar we kick back, relax over drinks, and at times there's food itself, finger food. Yomi Kuku was supposed to bring some suya for us today, but there was traffic.
That's true.
There was traffic in front of the
The
suya guy.
Abi.
So after the Boom Bar, we'll
Don't worry, take a picture and send
yeah,
it.
there.
I'm sure, Shola Rogers, you have your New Year resolution
Which is
right there, which is that you don't want to continue lying into things.
I like
Make sure,
I like
make sure
you.
you get that fulfilled.
I like
Looking
it.
forward to that.
I like it, but the thing about it, Yomi, is that I do not believe in resolutions. I don't. So sorry if you think I'm lying. It will happen again.
why don't you believe in resolution?
I don't. I don't think that I need a calendar year to take life-changing decisions and all of that. I'm not saying it is wrong. I just feel that why do I have to wait until January to say, oh, from January I'm going to.
When you think about it,
Yeah, when
it's
you
just
actually
the
think about
exact
it,
same next
Why
day.
can't you just
So
do that?
Yeah, you know, like we're saying, oh, we want to stream more video, but do we have to wait until January? Why don't we start now?
Some of us we are inspired.
Exactly.
It is that December everything ends.
Exactly.
And
Ah,
before
that's why
the
I'm saying there's
December
nothing
that
wrong with
follows, we
it.
are back at it. Is that a problem with that, Shola?
No,
Leave
no,
us alone.
no. You see, I get why you're afraid. It's understandable, and
Okay.
you're speaking from experience. I get it. It's fine. What I'm saying, is that I don't have a problem.
Check VAR.
I don't have a problem with people. I really don't have a problem with people who believe in resolutions. You get, but I found out that life is not that difficult. Like, for instance, you want to lose weight now. Some people go into it hard. You know, you cut everything off and you lose that weight. You will lose it to 20 kg. That you will drop it. Then 1 or 2 months after, you've gained like 40. Happens all the time. You know why? Because you went through it too hard. But a lot of experts will tell you that you should take it easy, that you don't have to stop everything completely, but you can cut down
Shola,
on.
it is called New Year resolution. The New Year is in January. Once it's February, it's no longer new. You can simply revert and get back to normal.
That actually makes sense. But I understand where he's coming from. You don't have to wait till the new year to.
A wise man once said. I like that. Those are wise sayings from a sage himself. And of course, it's not easy. When you look at him, you think he's 70. He's not that old. He's just 62. And his age mates with Tokunbo Jakule. And
Everybody
I don't
knows
know.
I don't use football age. You know.
all right,
Everybody is aware that my age is my age.
all right, guys.
And you know, for Shola, who we know that the age difference between him and Methuselah is quite like.
Yomi Kuku is not fight though. This thing no wait.
it's not that deep.
Time out. On behalf of myself and future generations, we apologize. We apologize. We take everything back. Bros, like making you just small banter. You have carried Methuselah.
You want me to apologize?
No, don't
Okay.
apologize.
Okay, I say it's a small tournament. I say small tournament.
Seriously.
And
really.
I like
it's small tournament.
Really?
And
Really?
yeah, I don't know. Apologize for what I said. No,
So
I don't have to say that.
I like what you've done, and you're
So we said you
such an
can see
amazing
your
person.
people.
That's his impression of Jurgen Klopp, and we also when that happened, a Nigerian journalist, OJ Babatunde, OJB, right?
Yeah.
Actually did ask him that question during a media briefing. But you see, looking beyond that, we want to take a quick focus on the Cup of Nations. The Cup of Nations is Africa's biggest showpiece when it comes to football. And it's been in existence since Thy Kingdom Come. You get? And it comes up every 2 years. Everybody knows this. It's always been like that. But we know that other continents have their own tournaments, and they're every 4 years and all of that. We're the only one that has a biennial tournament. You get? That is this big. And it just got bigger now. They increased it from 16 to 20 something, right?
24.
Uh-huh.
Under questionable circumstances.
Yeah, on that question.
Okay.
But we will get to that. The issue that we really want to take a look at before we talk about other things that happened in sports this year is the treatment that the African Cup of Nations gets from non-Africans and some African people too. A lot of disrespect. It's been going on. Not until a few days ago when this Ivorian footballer, Hela, right?
Yes, Sebastian. Yeah.
What? How do you pronounce his name again?
Sebastian
Aller. Yeah, because he's French, right? And he's one of the highest goal scorers in the Champions League.
He is the
Now, he is actually. A journalist did ask him, a question about the Nations Cup, and his response got a lot of people happy. A lot of us who feel that the Nations Cup does not get any respect. Then, before that time, there are rumors, of course, because there are rumors, we're not going to state it as a fact, that some African countries were working with the FIFA Exco to postpone the Nations Cup. Exactly. Then, of course, the clubs are also playing their own part. Like they don't want to release players and all of that. Case in point, Victor Osimhen, who had to take to Twitter to declare that he was available for selection. Yeah, that's a different matter.
But that's COVID. This
is COVID.
Going to go.
He can
He's
still
not
go.
going to be in the first
There's a
match.
1 week window. He's allowed a 1 week window and all of that. Yeah. But what we're trying to establish in essence is the kind of treatment that the CAF Cup AFCON gets.
Yeah,
Do you?
remember Dennis too? Watford, they're already having issues.
The
Watford
club is saying, oh, they might not
Yeah,
release him because
most-
they didn't get the mail on
Most
time.
clubs don't want to release their players
But-
for AFCON.
But you're not looking at it
Don't
from
release my own players.
seriously.
I don't give a damn if I'm African or not. Don't release them. We're gonna lose the league.
Well, we've already lost the league.
Okay,
but
so I
anyhow.
have an issue with, as much as yes, a lot of European clubs are not they don't like it. First things first, I've said it over time. I think that AFCON and like Euros and CONCACAF, I think that all those things need to be played at the same time.
True.
that
Yeah,
might-
actually, it makes sense.
It makes sense if everybody is on a break at the same time. It's not fair on the clubs as well. It's the
Exactly.
clubs
It's
that are
something their
making.
season.
They are the ones that are actually giving these people a lot of money. How much do
Yeah,
countries
exactly.
pay these people? When you think about it, and when you look at it from a holistic level, I think that if some people are going to go, why not let everybody go at the same time? Yes, that's one. Two, but also, are we not looking at it from the angle of what is it that African administrators, football administrators, are doing for their own?
Okay.
And I think that's the problem. That's where it starts from. Say charity begins at home.
All right, Yomi.
Well, my response is very simple. This thing actually started from the point of, 86, when most African players started, playing a lot more in Europe,
Yeah.
and then escalated up till 1988, when some African stars like Zohi, Yusuf Fofana, Roger Mila, and quite a number of them, had a problem, playing for their countries in Morocco in 1988. And it got to the point that the Ivorian FA actually had an altercation with Monaco.
Yeah.
And they had to transport Yusuf Fofana between Monaco and Casablanca, back and forth, back and forth. You see, the disrespect did not start today. It's not just about football. It's always been with every black people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The racism is quite institutional. When there was supposed to be a breakup in the European tournament, there was an instantaneous response. When it's anti-racism, you hardly find anything.
Just take a knee.
And you see, the most fundamental and disgraceful about this is that when you see educated black people who try to find an explanation for this idiocy, that is when you really feel that it hurts you more, really. And when I say Africans, for instance, those ones who are culpable, who are part of this, disgraceful attitude to it, people who are running football across Africa, all the countries, who cannot sit down and look them right in their face. Now, I tell you something. You see these folks, when they sit down with you at international events, they engage you. They know you're representing a country. They know you're representing a continent. When they feel that you are light, they come at you. I've been a part of an international group for what I was doing all the years. I've fraternized internationally for more than 20 years. And one of the things I made very clear, which even if some of them are watching today, was don't mess around with where I come from. I don't take apologies. Don't even do it in the first place. That's the first thing. That's the first rule. And so, no need to apologize. I'm a very proud African man. I know we've got problems. I know we've got issues around people who do not have the intellectual capability to manage anything and you put them forward as leaders, not just in football, not just in sports, but even politically. We've seen it happen right from slavery into colonialism, into neocolonialism, and this covert colonialism that we're seeing. No, the stupid thing around this is that they're now more vocal simply because they know the leadership running African football is not just docile, they're selfish, and they're evil. I make a choice of using that word evil because we're on air and there are certain words I cannot use. So I'll just make it mild. I'm really being kind to say they're evil. No, I'm serious. Because I can't imagine like I'm supposed to go defend my family's name and I get there and I just like laughing with them. I like giving my own share. I'm okay. Because that's all they're doing. They're all there for their personal aggrandizement. These are people who are not making that kind of personality in their various businesses. These usurpers, they don't run their own businesses. They don't have an opportunity of being at the head of their professional calling. So they use sports as a bait. And there are quite a number of people who are hungry, both of the head, the mind, and of the tummy.
Wow.
So they're not able to actually project and promote what is right and what is wrong before the masses, before the people who basically consume whatever they see in the media. So it's quite historical. But I'll tell you something. There was a man called Isayatu, sit tight. He never wanted to leave. Nobody messed around with him. Nobody. He doesn't even talk. He told the European media, the European agenda flyers, that look here, nothing will ever happen. We're holding it every 2 years. That is tradition. You can make a choice not to sign African players again. That's your problem. But if there's a rule to say they must play for their countries, they must play. And listen, and why I say it's very idiotic is this. How can they ever play the Euros right in the middle of a winter? No. What are we talking about? It is sheer arrogance, undue arrogance, hubris, that they decide that everything has to work in their favor. If it does not, then it doesn't hold anywhere.
That's the problem that I have with it.
These are some of the things that they audaciously promote, and people think that we need to find a go-between. If you make me an African CAF president today, if I'm there for 1,000 years, we're going to be playing African Cup of Nations in January. And they dare not ask me. I will go at them. Those guys, the only reason they're having a field day. Look at Sky Sports, the most idiotic, stupid headline you can ever imagine. I'm telling you, it is so annoying. And you see, they audaciously promote this because nobody's looking them right in the face and telling them, give me that overt racism in you. And don't cloud that with football.
But aren't we actually helping them do these things? We see with the way these things are being planned. We see that they are terribly planned. You see, for example, I honestly do not see a reason why there is, even if we agree that it's every 2 years, the calendars cannot be merged. It's difficult. It is. You really can't blame some of those clubs.
Dulupo, see, they are clubs. They have to make up their mind. All right? In the Euros, just 2 weeks immediately after a tough season, they go start playing the Euros.
Yeah, but they are not playing it in the middle of it.
You don't understand. Let me tell you something. It's a choice.
What about the European Nations League?
Yeah. They play the
Nations League is not a competition where they play.
They played mid-season, right?
They play mid-season. Listen.
Different periods.
Okay,
Listen.
but they play mid-season.
Yeah.
Listen,
but
let me ask you a question.
Period, not the whole month.
Let me ask you a question.
You get the
when
point
you're
I'm trying
signing
to
an
make.
African player, are you aware he's going to play at the African Nations Cup or not?
Yes.
So why did you sign him?
Because it's good and you want it for your team.
So
So
are
once-
you not supposed to now?
Once in 2
See,
My
years.
question is, my argument is this, right?
Yeah.
If AFCON can be played during the summer,
Whose summer? Whose summer?
Do you know that Africa doesn't have one summer?
Whose summer?
we
We
understand
have
that.
a date.
Are you saying European summer or African summer? When is African summer?
Europe, we don't have summer.
Europe. Okay, so we should behave like Europeans even when our weather does not.
We like to.
You
But
want
we
to
know
play
that
As
they'll
much
break.
as you're saying, as
You
much
want
as
to
you're
play
saying,
an
as much as you're saying, there's this sheer arrogance and everything. We also are beginning to get arrogance because we need to understand that if we're not, the simple truth is their football comes first. in
Their
whatever.
football
in-
makes
Let me tell you something.
Their football comes first. I understand that.
No, you don't understand. Wait, you know why I'm
That
telling you don't
football
understand?
comes first.
You don't understand. You know why I'm saying you don't understand? You see, Africans don't go to beg them that they want to play for Liverpool. They want to play for Watford. They stay on their own. They are business people. When you're doing business, if for instance, this road, this expressway leading out of Lagos, as a businessman is not workable, you're going to look for an alternative. That is the business approach. Okay? You knew from day one that they were going to play in the Nations Cup. It holds every 2 years, not every year.
Yeah.
Now, these same people
Yeah.
are the ones promoting a World Cup every 2 years.
Okay, that
Now-
also I think makes no sense.
See, so
That
what I'm trying to tell you is
makes
that
absolutely
this is all
no
about hubris, selfishness, and arrogance.
So wait a minute.
Okay.
Just wait.
Just-
You continue that line. Yes, I've always been mad at the fact that you're saying that Africa shouldn't have the Nations Cup every 2 years, but you want to start the World Cup every 2 years. We'll discuss
That
that.
does not even make
now,
any sense.
again, the World Cup is played in the summer, their summer, right? We all agree. How come the next World Cup is going to be played towards the end of the year? How come the next World Cup, the World Cup has always been played during the so-called summer break? How come the next
Don't
World
forget
Cup?
they just finished playing one FIFA Arab Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, I just found out that
Yes, they
an
did.
Arab Cup.
Yes, they did. I think the hook is coming off.
So,
Just push it in.
It's because they see us that we are weak people. You see, when you're
So,
weak,
what do you say to that, Chubomi?
we
okay, maybe you have to.
Africa as a whole, right? Infrastructure when it comes to sports is zero. Is close to zero, right? If we were a continent that had a lot of focus
Our
on
own
sports,
clubs.
if we had our own clubs, if we're promoting clubs, if our players could go boldly play for us, right? And if people were not stealing money, and if it was a proper investment stuff and everything, and people were getting paid, and you're seeing Salah play for Al Ahly, for example, right? And we were watching it and we're doing a lot of things.
And
A lot of these
Rangers
arguments would not be on
yeah,
point. That's why I say for the
They are still
Nothing
going to remind you that your tournament is in backwaters.
we're not saying they will
Listen,
Well, at least
We're
let's
not
get
saying
to
your
that
car-
point, then we'll have that
we're not saying
conversation.
we'll not be reminded.
I don't want to belabor myself with if. I don't want to belabor
And that's what I'm
myself
saying.
with
We're not
if.
going to do that with if. The
I-
first thing we need to understand is that football comes first, as much as we don't want to.
And then, and you see, it is also, like I said, because we have this bunch of, people who have no clear understanding of their history or what this is all about. And we've made them to be the ones running African football. And thank God, people who have played the game, they are like coming to the defense of Africans, the AFCON, and that really makes me so happy. So
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Thank
So,
you
yeah.
for bringing that up, Yomi.
So,
So
if
everybody
all the players
knows.
can rally
Everybody
around-
knows Ian Wright, and we all know that he's a legend. Forget any club
And we also
support.
know that he suffered racism.
Oh yes.
And he knows what this is all about.
Yeah.
And he came out. He came out to speak against what people are saying about the AFCON. Anthony Baffo. Now a lot of people know that Anthony Baffo played for Ghana, but they don't know that Anthony Baffo was not based in Ghana. It was
Born in Germany.
He was one of the first
Yeah.
people who were born and bred in Germany that actually came back home to play for an African country. And you notice the trend now. A lot of them boys are trying to come back home to play for their countries.
Like Lukman,
You know, a lot of
A
them.
lot of them.
So, what hurts me as an African and someone who believes
But try to cut your
No, go ahead, go ahead.
A lot of people know they are not going to make the
the
foreign team. By the
England.
way, let's not look at it
Like
like they
Lookman.
really want to play. They don't really
you
want
think
to
that's
play.
that's why.
That's another point you're raising.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a lot of
Wait,
reasons.
I don't understand.
They are
What-
not going to make
Like you don't
the
expect
foreign
Lukman
teams
to
they
play
were
for
born
England.
in. Or that's why a lot of them are coming back. Lukman will not make England team.
We know
He
that.
will
Okay,
never make
okay,
England.
Tammy
true.
Abraham.
Tammy Abraham will not.
But it was. Did you
The
say what?
very
play
moment,
for?
I don't
You
know,
can
the
say
very-
it's
the very moment,
possible.
the very moment
Oh,
you,
you can't.
the
When
very
you look
moment
at it
you,
from that
you-
angle too,
the
some
very
of
moment
them-
you have an FA president who sees one player maybe playing in one EFL cup or whatever, and then he sees on TV, and then the next thing he does is he
Whether
jumps on
they're
the plane.
good or not.
Yeah, he jumps on the plane. He's the recruitment officer. He's the FA president. He's
Take for example,
is the one that is
the Super Eagles
interfacing
coach
and
that
doing
they
all
have
sorts.
now and all.
See, look, we are getting all this because
No, but you see,
the quality of leadership
I
is
like
very
I like
low.
the angle that you
It's
brought
very
in, Shubomi, that I raised the fact that some players want to come home to play for African teams. It's just
some actually really
Oh,
want
I
to.
know.
it's just a small part of the matter. Like that's not the real crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is that Africa is being disrespected,
Definitely.
and now some people are speaking up. Hello, the Ivorian guy has a voice now. The Ajax striker, he has a voice now because of what he has achieved in Europe this year. You get, and what we're saying is that the scenario you guys talked about, Africa being strong enough to host our own players, is not far off. It's not impossible.
No, of course not.
It's not impossible. But at the moment where we are now, we're saying that if we all lend our voices, everybody, journalists, analysts, fans,
But
players.
the thing is, if we all lend our voices,
Inshallah, the hypocritical thing about this is that these are the folks who are going to be running all kinds of promotions on TV and whatever, saying this is a global game. It is not a global game. It is a game designed for the rich. It's a game designed for the strong. It's a game designed for the Europeans who have the economic power to dominate others. It is a game designed for people who are naturally oppressive and who feels that they dictate the tone. And so the only thing we have is that if you have invited us to a party, we must partake of how we share the cake. If you don't want us there, tell us. That's where we are. We are Africans. Our weather is different from yours. You decide when you want to host a game, and then you do it based on your weather and your conditions. And that's exactly what we do. What we're asking for is every 2 years, excuse these players for just 4, 3, 4, 5 weeks.
4 weeks.
And
Four.
that's all.
4 weeks, 5
You
weeks.
you play your Euros across how many multiple cities? Carrying viruses all across all the cities.
So,
At the end of the day, listen carefully. Listen. Not just even
help now.
exactly.
It makes it worse.
Now, not
but
just
they
even
played their
carry-
Euros during the peak
Shola,
of COVID.
Do you remember? You remember the stampede at Wembley?
Yeah.
Who is talking about that?
Nobody.
Hello. Who is
Nobody.
talking about that?
Okay, so I like the fact that we have divergent views. This is beautiful.
They are very lucky they don't have somebody like me as CAF president.
I
They're
also
very
believe-
lucky.
I also believe that we also
Because
I
we
believe-
would have done like a confrontation. You know why? Because those people don't just let go.
I believe
Listen,
that we as
you have these
Africans
very
also adding
small
respect.
people
Yeah.
who are kind of
Oh, yeah.
obsessed with this superiority complex. I've experienced it.
But
I'm
we
telling you,
also have
I
a
have
major
experienced it.
inferiority
As
complex.
And I
much
know-
as much as they are the worst of the worst, and nobody can argue that, right? I also
You are, not me.
I mean the white people, but all right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to motivate you for
He didn't say we. He didn't say we. He said they.
As much as they
For
are,
as they are,
as much as they are
okay.
terrible and everything, we're also adding to disrespect. And I'll keep
No,
saying it.
they are not terrible. I don't even think they are terrible.
I believe that as long as we are not helping our situation, and they will keep disrespecting
Yeah,
us till
I'm
tomorrow.
actually of the opinion that every human being has an oppressive streak in them.
That's it. God
So
bless you. Every
it is
human
now
being.
until you as
Yes,
a human
now.
being decide I'm not going to take it anymore.
God bless you.
But what are we doing about it?
You see,
We're not
let me
doing
tell you
nothing.
something. What we are doing is what you and I are doing. We're talking about it. Even if
Let's start from somewhere.
wait. You see, when we're all quiet, the players are quiet. That's when we're doing nothing. We have seen that the people, these pretenders, I've said I don't want to use that word. Please, I hope we're not talking on air. I need to use these words because I'm really crazy about this. You know why? Because people
Just
who
know-
do not have the competence
Just
and
before
capacity,
you-
just
be-
like what you're saying, to
Yomi
buttress the
Kuku,
point.
before
Yes.
you use the word,
I won't.
let me just give you the headline on Instablog or one of those blogs tomorrow. Nigerian man. No. Nigerian journalist uses word. We'll talk about that later.
Well, it won't bother me really. It's just because of the station.
It's not-
Listen, for me, if I attend a press conference and they're there, they're in real hell.
I know.
Listen,
I know.
you know why?
I
Because
know.
I feel deeply hurt that in 2021 we're going through this.
We're still having a
You know, like-
conversation about it.
In 1988, I was in class 5. This is 2021. The last time I saw that they came vicious, that they had to be transporting Fofana from Casablanca
Back and forth
to Monaco, was really irritating. There was no internet. We're only relying on news,
Yeah.
and then the guy will fly and play, and then again
It will
jump
go.
back.
It will go back
That was-
to Monaco to
Monaco.
play, then come back
The
to
private
play.
jet is waiting at the airport to be taking him back and forth.
There was a time when Nigerian players also their clubs brought the club doctors.
Yeah.
They brought a plane on standby.
Standby.
Waiting for Nigeria to fail. That as soon as they fail,
They just take the team away.
they're not even going to let them come home. That happened. You mean? Am I
Yes,
making it
now,
up?
We've seen a lot. And then you see, as you're growing older, you're still seeing these. Maybe you guys are younger. That's why you're feeling like, no, you're thinking like now on a global. They're not global. They're still the selfish people. The world is not global. Let's stop deceiving ourselves.
But we have not evolved.
You
Have
see,
we evolved?
See, I know very well, for instance, that we're not where we're supposed to be. I'm not disputing that. You know, like you put up somebody who does not have the intellectual capacity to be able to manage a federation, who says, I'm interfacing with someone like the boss. You know, you're talking with someone who is going to be in charge of the Nigerian national team, and then look at the CV. Come on, the most. Listen,
Horrible.
can't I just use this word? Now, let me try and manage it. See, you see, you can actually look at the CV. Someone who has
it's
changed
horrible.
job every year for the past 7 years. And that's the person you're considering for a job. Shola, you want to consider someone for this studio, for this organization that is thriving, that is growing. Let's even leave the fact that you've like grown over time. And the next man you're going to bring is this chap who works once in a year everywhere. Or Dolupo, that you know in 6 months she's going to be gone. You know, look at the rate of turnover. And this guy actually left the last job because they were not paying him. And the guy you actually relieved of his duties, you were not paying.
All right. So wait. Look, let's.
This is the kind of people.
Okay,
And
so
you see, you know why I'm saying this?
Yomi,
is
Yomi, one
when these
second.
guys engage you.
Yomi, wait.
You know, like
Yomi, one
okay.
second. For those of you who don't know, because it's speaking in parables, we are now talking about the employment of
Of
a
the NFF,
coach for the Super Eagles.
coach.
Who is the coach?
That
Wow.
His
Yeah,
name is Jose.
Yeah, it's coming out.
His name is Jose.
So who's coaching?
Who's coach?
Jose Pesero.
Everyone, the same one that is there now. The
So
interim coach.
Jose Pesero is the new coach of the Super Eagles. He's Portuguese and his name is Jose, like Jose Mourinho. So you guys should take that and live
He's a
with it.
student of Jose Mourinho too.
Yeah, so-
I hear. So we're going to end up playing like Jose Mourinho's
Yeah,
side.
right.
Yeah.
We won't park the bus.
How
We
is
will not
that
park the
about
train. We're going to
compromise?
park the
Why are you
aircraft.
looking like
By trouble.
And this
Joke.
this is where the problem is. So the last time Nigeria won this Nations Cup, it was with a Nigerian coach.
Yeah.
God bless his soul. Stephen
Stephen
Keshi.
Keshi.
Stephen Okechukwu Keshi, may your soul rest in peace. And Keshi said something leading up to the tournament. He said, stop selling us short. You keep bringing all these foreign coaches here, and they are not adding, you know the sad part? They are not adding any value.
Absolutely. They had no value.
I don't have a problem with a foreign coach or a local coach. I just want a coach that's going to add value.
Shala, you know what these never do well foot soldiers around these people are saying?
Yeah.
They say, oh, now when you have a local coach, they're going to be doing their runs and whatever. Excuse me. We had a foreign coach who brought in a goalkeeper that was in the 4th tier of German football.
Where is the guy playing now?
Of course, he plays in.
Division 1 now.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's even playing, and then
I
he's doing all sort of his own runs too. You think anybody doesn't do any runs? Why do you think Sir Alex Ferguson stopped giving interviews to BBC? They were at the verge of making a big revelation. You know, what about Sam Allardyce? All of that. You think everything happens in football?
That's why
So don't
Allardyce
look
was
as if
sacked
it's just
anyway.
Nigerian coaches who does that.
That's why
Don't give me
Allardyce was
that.
sacked.
I'm very close to what you are always thinking about. So it all happens all over. Believe me, it's not just Nigeria.
So-
I know we have excesses of how we can start things when we enter. I know.
So we had a former player who was captain of the team, who became a coach and won the same tournament. You understand? He won it as a player. Then he won it as a coach. And he is a Nigerian. And after he has died, you have brought in several coaches and nobody has come close. And you're still going to get a coach who doesn't know anything about the Nigerian football style, who you think is better than our local coaches who are better qualified than him. They brought in a guy who played as a striker for 12 years and scored 11 goals. Pesero.
This guy that
11 goals in his entire career. 11
In the
goals.
last 7 years, he's changed job every year.
I hope he's coming in.
So in 7 years,
You're not starting or he was
okay,
injured
no
this
problem.
year or
In
every
7
year or
years,
something.
he has worked in at least 6 different organizations. I don't want to say more than that, but in 7 years, the same guy. Look, he might turn out to be a good coach, but I'm saying as we speak.
If he does
As
well,
we
he does,
speak,
but-
are you saying that this guy is better than Amunike, who has a UEFA B license? Are you saying that this guy is better than the man you have never, Dodo Mayana, who is working on the UEFA A license, Peter Rufai? There are 4 or 5 Nigerians with UEFA B licenses. Does Pesero have a UEFA B license? Let's put that aside. Let's put that aside. There are several things. Now, he has never done anything with the national team before and been successful. In the last 12 games that he played,
With Venezuela.
He's won one. He's lost.
Yeah, it's
it.
because of COVID. They said it's COVID.
I think.
the people that won him,
because
he won only
The
one
foot
game.
soldiers on
Only
Twitter
one
said
game in
it's
last-
because of COVID.
in last 12
People
games.
that are beating them.
They said it's COVID.
Who was he coaching before?
It's COVID.
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Don't give him weapons, please. Don't weaponize him.
I'm just saying,
because
like,
see,
That's what
you
I'm
making
saying.
him
That
to
the
have
way
a lot of
we
weapons
make
They say
the
it's COVID.
decisions that we make.
see,
Maybe they say it's
you are
COVID.
going to
It's
give
COVID.
him.
It's COVID.
He's going to use it against
It's
us now
COVID.
before we leave
It's
now.
COVID. It's COVID. It's
So,
COVID.
so a guy plays 12 or 13 games and wins only one.
So if
Only
my,
one.
My question
And
now
he
is
employed
if this while you are not blaming white people, this white people they
Yeah,
hear
but
what you
what
are
did I say? You said now.
If
You
they
are-
hear that Nigeria just have coach, so let's check who they are.
Oh no, it's on BBC. Everybody carried it.
see
Everybody
that.
carried it.
I think they will
It's
not
global
respect
news.
us.
It's global news.
That's why
It's not
we're
that if
saying
they
it.
see, they
What did I
see.
say?
That's why it's
They
very
said
easy.
they're
global
giving
news.
him
See, that's why it's
weapons.
very easy for them to insult us because we don't rate ourselves. I understand that yes, they are the worst of the worst too. Starting from we can't even like comprehend what racism was all about. Don't get me wrong. But us, we are not helping ourselves.
I don't think. Yeah, I agree.
We're giving them ammunition.
We are giving them ammunition. We are just giving
I
them-
agree.
we
Honestly.
are just giving them
But
ammunition.
how do you know that and then you employ that guy?
Do you
How
get
do you employ someone
And,
like
and
that?
then
That guy is meant to be.
you know the funny thing is now let me also give you more weapons anyway. I'll give you more. Listen, the Federation President, Amaju Pinnick said,
Isn't that the one that did the press conference
Yes,
that was going
yes.
to happen?
he said,
Oh, he had a press conference last week that there was going to be an announcement this week.
this week.
Why is he
So I'll be announcing next week, guys.
Hey,
Man.
so announcement.
honestly, see, and then he said he interfaced with Arsene Wenger and
Jose Mourinho.
And I asked myself, so what you're saying is that the DFB president will say he's interfacing with Rummenigge or Stelika or whoever.
Why?
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Is it your job?
Why?
Is
I
it
don't
your
know.
job? Like you're literally.
And this is the reason these folks are not going to respect you.
God knows how many Nigerians.
That's why I keep saying it that the minute we don't get our acts together,
They won't respect you.
And you know
I
what?
agree.
And let me tell you something, just to buttress his point further. Look at entertainment. Look at the way Nigerian entertainers, songsters are. Yeah,
Because we are
Literally
literally-
look at it.
We
because
took
we are literally not
what's it
taking
called
bullshit
into our
anymore.
hands.
Nobody
Yes.
can vote. Nobody can.
Exactly.
Look at when Burna Boy went on his
And then
Yes, now.
look at the guys also in tech. Look at the guys in tech as well.
Yeah, they're deciding that we're going to do these things on our own terms.
you know,
And they're taking Nigerians in.
The
But it's only
the
the
guys
sports
the guys
thing.
in tech, like you said, there are 7 unicorns in Africa. That's companies that are worth $1 billion and above. 3 of them,
Three of them are in
are in
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Of the 7.
Just a few months ago, even the federal
2
government
point-
came out
2.7.
saying that tech actually brought Nigeria out of recession. Not oil.
2.7
Nothing.
2.7
And excuse me,
2.7 trillion.
Please let people know that younger guys, younger people.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Even
I
entertainment,
don't
younger
think
people.
entertainment right now. I don't even really believe anybody can open their mouth and say no bullshit. They can't talk anymore.
You
because
can't because
every
The dude is
for the Nigerians to be having the most Shazam song in the world. You
in the
understand
world, you know
In the
what
world.
you know what it is.
that things
Yeah.
are
In the
happening.
world.
That's CK, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They understand that things are
Happy for
happening.
him.
Yeah.
But now in football, you see people playing in Nepal. They're playing in Bhutan. somebody who's scoring like about 10 goals, 15, 20 goals in the Nigerian league, then you hear next is going to play.
He's
in
gone.
Ethiopia.
He's gone. He's going to go to Libya.
Libya,
War-torn Libya.
Lithuania.
He's going to go to Tunisia.
Belgium, just
But
Because
can you
we will
blame
not.
what is left?
We won't
what is
develop
left?
our league.
And the reason
Is
is
it
very
Rangers you
simple.
want to play for?
We
Shout out to
We
Rangers.
get pitch.
And 3SC.
Shey we get pitch.
We
You
don't.
know the
Like,
funny
the
thing.
stadiums are horrible.
There
And
is no.
stationary
I said
stuff.
Now, let me throw a challenge. Let me throw a challenge.
I ain't saying that.
Eh?
There is
I ain't say that.
one, not one single Nigerian team
Yeah.
that has got followership of up to 10,000 on social media.
Oh, how?
Ah no.
Do people
no,
actually
no, no.
know them? That's
Enyimba and Co. They are doing
How
better.
many?
They have more than that.
Eba me
No, they do. They do.
On-
Enyimba
When
might
when I
have-
was managing the stores and we got to 18,000.
But they have left.
Yes, but when I had it.
Eba me have now. Eba
They
No,
have
they do.
also
They do.
left.
Just check.
It's not up to 10,000.
No,
Eba-
no,
Eba-
no,
That
no,
does
no.
not
Ah.
have to 10,000.
What do they have?
It's like 1,000.
On
You ain't
Instagram.
shouting.
No, no, no,
Ah,
no,
no,
Twitter.
go check now.
How many
Twitter.
times?
Ah, no.
Eba is 1,000.
No, Twitter now.
Twitter.
Oh, yeah,
It's Twitter. No, no, it's not possible.
That is what Instagram.
1,700. Instagram is even easier to get
No,
followers.
Twitter now.
Yeah, do Twitter now.
Twitter.
I know you know that Twitter is banned, so you'll be arrested from here.
No, I didn't check Twitter.
Twitter is not banned though.
Twitter is not bad. It's
Twitter is not banned.
suspended.
I don't have Twitter on my phone.
I don't have Twitter.
Oh, you are denying.
Even a Nigerian governor tweeted
I
yesterday.
mean,
Nothing
this
happened.
guy tweeted.
Somebody tweeted from
They're
me
tweeting
from
now.
abroad. They impersonated him.
They're tweeting.
What
You're blocking it.
What people are hearing is what people
Oh, yeah,
are hearing.
Don't look for
I hear my voice from abroad.
How many?
I'm trying to look.
No, it's not
Try.
possible now. It's not possible.
But for Instagram not to be there.
He's not.
No, you see-
No, but I'm confident that they opened that account late.
No,
They just-
no.
they opened it.
If you don't give anybody kudos, anybody's social media is fantastic.
But they just have 1,000.
Alaye open it.
Help.
Anyba.
ENYIMBA. That's the biggest Nigerian club anyway.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
popular.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
If
actually.
you don't
Yeah.
get now or
Canopilas.
or Canopilas, yeah.